Quick warning before we start. There is a real chance this video gives you a song stuck in your head. Not a metaphor, an actual, literal, scientifically real possibility. If you've heard "Call Me Maybe" at any point in your life, it might already be loading. Sorry in advance. Because right now, somewhere on Earth, someone is involuntarily replaying the chorus of a song they haven't heard in real life for hours, maybe days. Scientists actually have a name for this: involuntary musical imagery, or INMI, if you enjoy acronyms more than music. Normal people just call it an earworm. A genuinely unsettling name, by the way. It comes from the German word ohrwurm, literally earworm, which is somehow both completely accurate and the worst possible mental image for something that happens to almost everyone, constantly. And I do mean almost everyone. One researcher who spent years studying this estimates that 99% of people get earworms. Not most, 99%. About half of those people say it happens to them frequently. And around a quarter say it happens several times a day. So if you've ever felt personally cursed by your own brain's terrible taste in replay value, you are extremely not alone. So what's actually going on in there? Let's start with the easy part. Your ears aren't the problem. Nothing's actually playing. Your auditory cortex, the part of your brain that processes sound, is just replaying the song anyway, with zero audio involved. Basically, your brain fills a gap. When there isn't enough real sound coming in, it reaches into memory and pulls something out to fill the silence. And music, especially the catchy kind, is some of the most deeply embedded stuff in there. But that still doesn't explain why it's always the same 3 songs on rotation, and never say, a song you actually like. Turns out, scientists went looking for exactly that pattern. Researchers at Goldsmiths, University of London, actually analyzed which songs get reported as earworms most often, and found they share a genuine formula. Ingredient 1. Tempo. Earworm songs tend to move fast, somewhere around 120 to 140 beats per minute. Slow ballads rarely infest anyone's brain. Ingredient 2. A simple melodic shape. Small, easy intervals your brain can mentally sing without much effort. Big, dramatic vocal leaps are actually harder for your brain to silently reproduce, so it tends to skip replaying them. Ingredient 3, and this is the sneaky one, an unexpected twist. A weird little interval, an odd pause, a repeated note where you wouldn't expect one. Something that makes your brain go, "Wait, what was that?" and quietly flag the whole thing as worth remembering. Put fast tempo, simple shape, and one tiny surprise together, and apparently you've built a song that 73% of catchy tracks in actual studies turned out to have in common. A few real offenders researchers keep landing on: Lady Gaga's Bad Romance, Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, Journey's Don't Stop Believin', the opening riff of Smoke on the Water. Sorry if any of those just started playing in your head. That's not a coincidence. That's the entire video working as intended. Here's the part researchers describe as a genuine cognitive itch. Once a song starts playing in your head, your brain starts predicting what comes next, the next line, the next note, the next beat. And when it correctly predicts the next bit, that's mildly satisfying. So it keeps going. Verse, chorus, repeat. The loop sustains itself because finishing the pattern feels like a tiny reward, every single time. Which also explains the worst part. Deliberately playing the song again to get it out of your system almost always backfires. You're not scratching the itch, you're feeding it. The actual best fix, according to the research, isn't chewing gum, despite what your group chat insists. It's listening to a completely different song, all the way through. Give your brain a new pattern to finish instead. There's also a reason a song attaches to you specifically, and not the stranger standing next to you who heard the exact same radio. A part of your brain called the hippocampus is constantly linking music to memories, emotions, even routines. So a song can become permanently soldered to one specific bus ride, one breakup, one summer, completely without your permission. Once that link forms, your brain might replay the song completely out of nowhere, especially during idle moments like brushing your teeth or folding laundry. Anything repetitive enough that your conscious brain has spare capacity lying around. And catchy music genuinely triggers your brain's dopamine system, the same reward chemical involved in eating something you really enjoy. So, an earworm isn't just an annoyance. Some tiny part of your brain is technically enjoying this against your will, which feels like a personal attack, honestly. Here's the genuinely funny twist researchers found, though. Musical training makes this worse, not better. People with musical backgrounds tend to have a more developed internal audio imagination. They're simply better at mentally recreating sound in detail, which means the better you are at music, the easier time your brain has vividly replaying it without permission. Being good at something backfiring on you so directly is almost poetic. And one more genuinely strange fact before we wrap this up. The chorus is the single most commonly reported earworm culprit of any part of a song. Verses change every time. Choruses are built to repeat, on purpose by the people writing the song, which means they're already pre-optimized, completely intentionally, to do exactly what just happened to you a few minutes ago. So, if you've still got Bad Romance or Bohemian Rhapsody looping right now, that's not bad luck. That's just a near-perfect demonstration of exactly the formula this whole video's been explaining, running live in your own head for free. There is, however, a tiny, genuinely lucky minority who are completely immune to everything you've just heard. Researchers studying mental imagery have identified a small group of people who simply don't have a mind's ear. They cannot generate internal sound at all. No internal music, no inner voice, nothing. Scientists have started calling this anoralia. It's rare. Somewhere around 1% of people have it in its strongest form, with a slightly larger group missing just their inner voice specifically. But if you happen to be one of them, congratulations. You are functionally earworm-proof. This video could not do to you what it just did to literally everyone else watching it. Everyone else, unfortunately, remains fully vulnerable. You're welcome. Or sorry. Genuinely could be either.